Chapter 2. The Search Begins. Officer Jenny said that Marissa could be found in the crystal shop on this street, Ash said. But every shop on the street is a crystal shop. Ash looked up and down the street, perplexed. After Lapras had landed on Sunburst Island, they had headed right into town. Ash couldn't wait to find the one person who wrote that note. Sunburst Island is famous for crystals, Tracy explained. The most of the island's inhabitants are glass artisans. Their work draws a lot of tourists. Ash pressed his face against the window of a nearby shop. Crystal goblets and vases glittered in the glass case. This stuff's pretty nice, Ash admitted. Pika agreed. Then a gruff voice startled Ash. Face it, Marissa, your brother might as well close the store for good. He doesn't even have anything in the store to sell. Marissa? That's who we're looking for, Ash thought, as he turned around. The voice belonged to a surly shopkeeper wearing an apron. He was talking to a little girl with pigtails. Don't say that about my big brother, said the girl defiantly. Ash stepped in between them. Are you Melissa? He asked the girl. She nodded. I need to talk to you, Ash said. Well, come inside my brother's store, she said. Ash, Tracy, Misty, and Pikachu followed Marissa into a small shop. The window displays were bare. Inside, small crystal Pokémon figures were scattered on a work table. Ash was curious about the figures, but he was more curious to talk to Marissa. He took the letter from his pocket and said, Did you write this by any chance? Marissa's face lit up. You found my letter. Can you tell me about the crystal onyx? Actually, we don't know anything about it, Ash said. We were hoping that you could tell us. Marissa looked like she might be about to cry. I guess I'll never find out about the crystal onyx now. So sorry, Misty said gently, as a young man stepped into the room. He was tall, with brown short hair. Is my little sister bothering you? He asked. Not at all, said Misty. This is my brother, Mateo, Marissa said. Ash and the others introduced themselves. Then Ash took a closer look at the Pokemon figures. There was a crystal Pidgey, a crystal Poliwhirl, a crystal Geodude, and lots of others. These are pretty nice, Ash told Merito. Why don't you put them in the window and sell them? Mateo's face clouded. Because they're no good. My father used to run this store, and he was very talented, but my work just can't compare. Tracy picked up the crystal Dorito and examined it. What's so bad about them? He asked. They don't look like living Pokemon, Mateo said. Grandpa's Pokemon look like they might come alive at any moment. He paused. It's because Grandpa had inspiration. He saw the onyx. Ash perked up. The crystal onyx? He asked. Mateo nodded. Its entire body was made out of crystal. Grandpa saw it when he was a young artist, and after that, he was able to make one great work after another. Mateo walked to a pedestal on the floor. He pulled away a cloth covering the pedestal. Ash gasped. A large crystal sculpture of an onyx glittered there. It looked amazingly real. If only I could find the onyx, I might be able to create something as real as this, Mateo said sadly. Misty turned to Marissa. So that's why you put the message in the bottle, she said. You wanted to help your brother? Marissa nodded. Well, we'll help you. Look, Ash said. If your grandpa saw it, it can't be too far away, can it? Mateo nodded, and Tracy took out a Pokeball from his bag. Venonat, can you please help us track it? He opened the ball, and a fuzzy creature, a Pokemon with big red eyes, appeared. It had no arms and walked on 2 feet. Ash and Misty had seen it before. but Mateo and Marissa looked surprised. Venant uses radar to track objects. Tracy explained that he's probably the best thing to use right now. As he said this, Venant's eyes lit up red and began to glow. They whirled around and they snapped into focus, and the Pokemon towards the door. "Let's go," Ash said. The group followed Venant through the town and then out to the beach. Venant hopped along faster and faster. "I think Venant's found something," Tracy said excitedly. Venant hopped around the sand dune and the others followed. The Pokemon had stopped in front of a large group of rocks. The rocks were piled in a long, snake-like shape. They almost looked like an onyx itself. Tracy sighed. "Venant's radar can only do so much," he said. "Let's try another Pokemon." "Venant, back in." Tracy opened up another Pokeball. A round blue Pokemon that looked a mouse-like appeared. It had large ears and a round ball on the end of its tail. "It's Peril," Ash said. "Peril has great hearing, right?" Tracy nodded. "It can distinguish the sounds of a Pokemon's cry from distances away." Tracy took a small tape recorder out of his pack. He slipped it into the tape and pushed it and pressed play. Along came a deep cry from his recorder. "That's Onyx," Tracy told Peril. "Now find it." Peril's ears began to twitch, and then it turned sharply and started running down the beach. It stopped at the water's edge and pointed. A small green island sat about 100 yards offshore could be seen. "It must be on that island," Ash said. "But Grandpa said he found the onyx on this island," Mateo said. Peril's ears twitched with excitement. "Peril must hear something," Ash said. "We've got to find a way to get out there." "It might not be so hard," Tracy said. "The tide is going out." Ash watched as the water began to retreat from the shore, and soon a sandy path was visible in the water, leading from Sunburst Island to the smaller island. "Perfect," Ash cried. "Let's go." Ash ran down the path, and the others followed right behind him. But suddenly, Ash felt the soft sand slip beneath his feet. His stomach lurched as he plummeted down into a pit. He had fallen into a trap. End of chapter 2.